They say some places hold onto their memories, their pain echoing through empty halls. Tonight, we're venturing into one such place, a place where the walls themselves seem to scream. Welcome, everyone. Tonight's journey takes us deep into the decaying heart of the infamous Blackwood Pines Asylum. For over a century, this institution stood on the outskirts of civilization, a place whispered about in hushed tones, a dumping ground for society's unwanted. Officially, it was a sanatorium, a place of healing. But the stories that have bled out from behind its barred windows tell a much darker tale. From controversial treatments to tales of patient abuse, Blackwood Pines accumulated a legacy of suffering. It was shut down abruptly in the 1980s, not with a bang, but with a quiet, hurried exodus, leaving behind files, equipment, and, as many believe, the tortured souls of those who never left. Tonight, we're going to sift through the legends and the documented accounts to uncover the most chilling stories from this abandoned asylum. Stick with me, and let's step through its gates together. Before we delve into the specific hauntings, it's crucial to understand the atmosphere of a place like Blackwood. In the early 20th century, mental health care was a terrifying landscape of experimental procedures. Lobotomies, electroshock therapy without proper anesthesia, and hydrotherapy that bordered on torture were common. Patients were often not seen as people, but as problems to be managed or fixed. By any means necessary, Blackwood Pines was at the forefront of some of these methods. Surviving records, though sparse, paint a grim picture. Dr. Alistair Finch, the asylum superintendent for over 30 years, was a proponent of radical therapeutic intervention. His personal journals, discovered by urban explorers decades later, describe his patients with a chilling detachment, referring to them as subjects for his theories on a cure for madness. This context is important because it is the fertile ground from which the asylum's ghost stories have grown. The pain and fear weren't just imagined, they were a daily reality. One of the most persistent legends is that of the Whispering Ward. This was the children's wing of the asylum. While it's horrifying to imagine children in such a place, it was a sad reality for many who were orphaned, had developmental disabilities, or were simply deemed difficult. The story goes that at night, if you stand in the crumbling hallway of the third floor ward, you can still hear them. It's not a loud noise, but a faint, almost imperceptible sound of children whispering. Local investigators and paranormal teams who have gained access have reported recording EVP's electronic voice phenomenon of children's voices saying names, humming lullabies, or simply crying for their mothers. One of the most common phrases like captured is "let us out." The most famous story associated with this ward is that of Lily. A young girl was admitted for hysteria after losing her parents. Legend says she would constantly sing a little tune to comfort herself. After she passed away from pneumonia, nurses reported hearing her song echoing from her empty room. To this day, explorers claim to hear that same, sad melody drifting through the abandoned halls, a ghostly lullaby in a place of nightmares. Moving from the children's ward, we descend into the bowels of the asylum, the basement. This is where the most feared treatments were carried out, far from the public eye. It's here that the legend of the Shadow Man was born. This figure is not tied to a single patient's story, but is described as a tall, looming shadow, often seen materializing in the corners of the hydrotherapy room or the long, dark corridor that led to the morgue. Unlike other apparitions, the Shadow Man is said to be malevolent. People who have encountered it report an overwhelming sense of dread, a feeling of being watched, and a sudden, bone-chilling drop in temperature. Some have even reported feeling a phantom touch, a cold hand on their shoulder, or the sensation of being pushed. One urban explorer's viral video, though its authenticity is debated, appears to show a dark, human-shaped mass moving obstaculously across a doorway in the background as he films. Skeptics say it's just a trick of the light, but those who have been in the basement insist it's the entity of Dr. Finch himself, forever patrolling the domain of his cruelest experiments. Perhaps the most unsettling story is that of room 137. On the second floor, and the wing for severely agitated patients. This room has a particular aura of despair. This was the room of a patient named Thomas, a man who was a gifted artist before his admission. He was subjected to countless rounds of electroshock therapy, which, according to his own fragmented letters, burned the pictures out of his head. He began to use whatever he could find, dirt, food, even his own blood, to draw on the walls. His drawings were not of landscapes or people, but of terrifying, abstract figures with gaping mouths and empty eyes. After his death, the staff tried to scrub the walls clean, but the stains, they said, would always bleed back through. They painted over them, but the next day, faint outlines of his drawings would reappear. After the asylum closed, visitors to room 137 have reported a strong smell of iron, like old blood, and a palpable sense of artistic frustration and rage. Some have even claimed to see fresh scratches appear on the walls, as if Thomas is still there, still trying to get the pictures out of his head and show the world the horrors he endured. The final, and perhaps most tragic, tale is that of Nurse Eleanor. Unlike the other stories, Eleanor's is one of kindness and a place devoid of it. She was known to be one of the few staff members who treated patients with genuine compassion, often sneaking them extra food or just sitting with them, offering a kind word. She was particularly close to the children in the Whispering Ward. The official story is that she died during a flu outbreak, but the legend says otherwise. It's whispered that she uncovered the extent of Dr. Finch's abusive experiments and threatened to expose him. Shortly after, she was found in the asylum's chapel, her death ruled a suicide. But many believe she was silenced. Her spirit is said to be a protective one. Visitors who feel a sudden sense of calm in the most terrifying parts of the asylum, or who hear a soft, soothing hum when they are frightened, often attribute it to the ghost of Nurse Eleanor. She is the light in Blackwood's darkness, a benevolent spirit who remains to watch over the other lost souls, a testament to the fact that even in the most hellish of places, compassion can leave a legacy that even death cannot erase. So, what do you think? Are these just stories, the product of overactive imaginations in a creepy old building? Or is it possible that the intense emotion and suffering experienced at Blackwood Pines Asylum left a permanent scar on the very fabric of the place, replaying its tragic history for anyone brave or foolish enough to listen? Thank you for joining me on this journey into the dark history of Blackwood Pines Asylum. If you found these stories as chilling and fascinating as I do, please hit the like button and subscribe for more explorations into the world's most haunted places. Stay safe and always question the shadows.